Hello everybody, welcome to the channel. Yesterday we completed our 5.56 K-can comparison video. Before we get into that, I just wanted to take this time to tell you guys thank you. I appreciate you taking your time to watch the content and also to interact through the comment section. It means a lot to me and I do appreciate it. Thank you. With that being said, stick around after and we'll have a discussion about back pressure and about sound. Hope you enjoy the video. Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. Today we're out here at the Angelina Rifle and Pistol Club and we're going to compete our 5.56 K-can comparison. The silencers we have to compare today, we're going to start with the Polonium Creeks, Otter Creek's Polonium K. This will be used using a Reardon hub adapter along with the Reardon flash hider. Next will be the CAT Whitebread. This is in 718. This is the hub version and it will be shot using a hub adapter with a direct thread hub adapter. Next is the B&T Print XH Compact. This also will be shot with a direct thread hub adapter. Next is the SilencerCo Bellows K. We will use a Reardon Charlie mount along with the Reardon flash hider. Next is the Cobalt Kinetics Scrambler. This is the one in 718. And this also is for their QD muzzle device, which is a 1x16 left-hand Acme thread. Next will be the Huxwrx Flow 5.56K. Uses their proprietary muzzle device. And last, we have the Dead Air Laser 6. This will use their Xeno hub adapter along with a Xeno flash hider. The ammo that will be used for the test will be a 62 grain green tip. I made a mistake when I was leaving the house this morning. I grabbed the wrong can. I wanted to use M193, but I grabbed this, so this is what we're going to go with. All right, guys, let us get set up and we'll get this thing started. We'll be right back. Hello, everyone. We are back. Today we're going to start with the Surefire Mini. This is from the Legacy series. This is right before the SOCOM Mini came out. This was one of the Legacy Minis with the new collar. So I failed to mention that a while ago. I apologize, but that is going to be our first offering. And here we go. Up next is the B&T Print XH Compact. This will be using a direct thread hub adapter along with, I did not mention it a while ago, we're shooting a 14.5 inch mid-length gas system with the rifle speed gas block. Up next is the CAT Whitebread. This is a 1 out of 718 in the hub version, and we will be using a direct thread hub adapter. Alright, up next is the Dead Air Laser 6. A while ago, folks, my camera was kind of in line with the sun. I apologize about that. I took the time to move it. I hope this works out better. All right, Laser 6. Up next is the SilencerCo Bellows K. Up next is the Otter Creek Polonium K. This will be shot using a Reardon flash hider along with the Reardon hub adapter. There we go. Alright folks, up next is the Cobalt Scrambler. This is out of 718 and this has their QD muzzle device. Alright folks, last one we have for today is a Huxwrx Flow K, 5.56 Flow K. I'm having to shoot it on a different rifle. This is another 14.5-inch mid-length, but I did not bring another flash hider that will work with the Hux can. So luckily enough, I had the rifle. Here we go. Welcome back. Now let's discuss the back pressure. The way I assess or gauge back pressure, mainly so I can relay the information in a video, is by using a rifle speed gas block. By using a rifle speed gas block, that allows me to control the gas to the gas tube. So therefore, controlling some parameters where to some degree we understand rough percentages of how much back pressure a suppressor has or does not have. So I believe the best way is to actually shoot the gun, look for the shootability and the other circumstances that surround it, but it's impossible to do that for a video. So I do believe using the rifle speed gas block is a good way to relay that information so that the viewer gets some good data, to use when they're purchasing or when they're thinking about purchasing a suppressor themselves. I believe that's good data for them. So with that being said, we used a 14.5-inch mid-length gassed upper with the rifle speed gas block. On that particular setup, the way I have it set up, the unsuppressed setting is 7 and 8. So, I mean, you could use 9, 10, 11, and 12, whatever, and but 7 and 8 is what I use. That's the way I have it. You know, you can use the different plungers. And so that means at setting 6, you're restricting the gas enough that unsuppressed, it no longer has enough gas to work the system. Okay, and we simply check that by putting an empty mag in the gun and seeing if we can get a full lock on an empty mag. Sometimes you'll get a partial lock, okay, and that means you do not have enough, that's a lack of gas, or could be. So, understanding that number 6 is the failure point for the unsuppressed setting, that's where we fail to get locked back. So when we start talking about these suppressors and we start associating numbers with them, we understand that the closer to 6 is going to be the lower the back pressure. The closer to 1 is the higher the back pressure. All right, so far as, I'll go ahead because there's a bunch of them that actually rated on level 5. All of those will be the Huxwrx, the CAT, the Velos, the Print XH. Let me pull my notes up here so you're not looking at the top of my head. The Print XH, okay, and the Cobalt Scrambler, and the Dead Air Laser 6. So all of those, okay, we found failure on setting 5. So let me explain that a little bit. Just because they were all setting 5 does not mean they're all exactly the same. They're very similar and they're close, but inside setting 5, okay, you have the upper portion of that setting towards 5, 6. You have the middle ground, and then you have the lower end of it towards, 4 and 5. I'll give you an example. For instance, the 2 that did the best, strictly when talking about back pressure, the 2 that had the least back pressure was the Huxwrx and the White Bread. Okay, both of those got partial locks on the unsuppressed setting of 6. Okay, so what that means is they almost failed to lock to the rear on the unsuppressed setting. Okay, but they did get partial locks, so they got moved down to 5. And so that means that some of these other ones, they may be in the, in the mid-range of the 5, or the lower range of the 5, or even, the upper 4 and 5 range, just like the 5 and the 6. So just because they're all 5 does not mean they're exactly the same. That's just the point I wanted to communicate. But it does mean they're similar. I would say just throwing a percentage on it, I mean, this is a guess, do not hold me to it. You're probably looking that there could be a difference of anywhere, to 15-ish to 20% maybe between the different variables, the different options, okay? Maybe a little less. But that just maybe gives you some idea. So all of those were on 5. The Hux and the CAT, like I said, they got partial locks on 6. So they almost would have been on the unsuppressed setting. Okay? So again, any more specific questions you guys have about this stuff, man, reach out to me and we can get deeper in the weeds on it. Okay? So getting into the sound. Some of them does pretty well. Matter of fact, a couple of them does shockingly well. And then there's some of them, okay, well, they don't do very well at all. So let's start with, we'll kind of rate from like best to worst if we want to use those terms. Right? I don't look at it like that. They're tools. What are you using that tool for? And so, yeah, I'll digress on that. So, for as number 1, it's going to be the CAT White Bread. Number 2 would be the Scrambler. Number 3 would be the Dead Air Laser 6. And number 4 would be the Polonium K. Number 5 would be the Huxwrx. Number 6 would be the Velos K. And the B&T Print XH, man, they're very similar, okay? And then last would be the Surefire Mini. Okay, like I was talking about the ones that do extremely well, the CAT and the Scrambler and the Laser 6. I mean, for their size and everything, I mean, they're impressive. And the Scrambler is something you really don't hear anybody talking about. And they make one in titanium as well. And I mean, extremely lightweight. And as far as back pressure, sound, and flash reduction, I mean, that thing, you know, it's a heavy hitter, no doubt. And then its size, of course. So, well, folks, I believe that's all I have. If you have any questions, again, reach out to me in the comments. Oh, I would like to take this time to thank my son, Seth. If it wasn't for him, I would not be able to do this stuff. He really helps me out a lot. And I just want you to know, buddy, I do appreciate it. All right, folks, appreciate your time. I hope it was informational for you. And remember this, love your enemies, but keep your guns oiled.